You're going to have to know what real progress is. You're going to have to know when you actually did do well. What does it mean to do well as far as your own personal growth? You're not going to leave this class creating professional work. The whole point is that you work and you take a series and series of classes, and outside of the classes, you're hanging out with IGDA, you're hanging out in the game design center, you're just working, just making stuff, make stuff. It doesn't even matter what it is. Like just programming a website still has related skills. Just drawing characters in a 2D program has related skills that they all overlap and blend, and they all build you up. And there's so many tangential knowledge paths. It feels like you have to dig down infinite amounts of rabbit holes to learn everything. You just keep going. And then when you think you've plateaued, all of a sudden you realize, oh, I knew even less, and there's this deeper level to go, and you have to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, and it just feels like it's infinity. But that is the learning path of technology. You're a forever learner. And just because you're learning and you see there's another level to go, it doesn't mean you're actually qualified. It doesn't mean you haven't made progress first, but it also doesn't mean you're not qualified to start to participate in the industry in a more professional manner, whether it's internships or entry-level work. At every stage of my career, I've always felt underprepared, and you just take it. You just say every job has a new set of learning challenges, a new set of techniques and technologies you've never spent a lot of time with. And you just say, yes, I can learn it, and you spend the time doing it. So this quote means a lot. And whether you're more on the art side or more on the technology side, it still works. It still applies. Everything is a craft in this field. And a craft means it really comes down to experience. And you just don't know when you're ready or where you're going. So you have to just keep learning and learning. And it's not a passive pursuit. So it is okay to just spend 1 month assessing yourself and being like, whoa, I didn't know what I thought I knew. And I'm going to spend this 1 month just learning something like user interfaces. Like user interfaces are insanely complicated when you actually dive in. You think it's just a bunch of crap on the screen. It's just a bunch of buttons. Like anyone can do this. Because user interfaces need to be responsive. They have this. You have to understand how screen to world translation works and how stuff can be in absolute or relative locations. And then there's this whole design aspect to it, and then even the programming. It gets into this idea of events and callbacks that will open up a whole new area of programming. Like my first exposure to callbacks was in user interfaces, and now I use them for every events with networking. It's insane how much they're used. So there's this weird connection between user interfaces and networking programming that you would never think of, and you wouldn't unless you get exposure to them. So it's okay to feel like you didn't do well, or you're not proceeding as quickly as you thought you would. You just have to put your axe to the grindstone and focus on sharpening your skills. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, and you have to stop asking when. You just, because the mentality of anyone in the industry is it's always harder, better, faster, stronger. You're always improving. There's no when. You're always in a state of refinement. And so you just got to pick goals, you pick projects, you pick what you think is right, and then you have to adjust as you're doing it, and then reflect. So after you finish this drop, after you do your presentations, you get your feedback, you do your surveys, you reflect, and then you develop a better strategy for this project. And you repeat, and you repeat, and you repeat. And this is exactly how it works in industry. So Anyway, um, one of the best things you could do for yourself growth wise is to adjust your perspective, your framework. That if you're expecting something out of one class, that's not how this works. And if you're expecting something out of this program without you taking all of the primary responsibility of your own growth, that's not going to work either. That's not how life works. And especially in these very overlapping fields such as video games, where it's so highly technical and so highly creative, that this isn't a normal job. You really it's a more of a craftsmanship situation, so you really got to put in that time, and that's why it's a field of passion and it's an active passion, and you really have to get into it. All right, so hopefully this quote can help you if you don't feel happy what you did. You gotta learn from mistakes and reassess and aim to do better the next project. That's all you can yourself, and that's the best you can approach this. So um, there's an hour before your drop. My TA should be popping in later in class, and we could start to figure out distributing the surveys. But please post something, anything, by the end of this class, because this is where the TA and I will be looking and be like, okay, here's the people who actually posted. These are the people who get to do the feedback portion. And then after class today, we'll send out the surveys, and we do then, right? And we're going to do, everybody does 3 surveys. So 4, we were talking, seems like that's a lot. We're going to aim for 3. Oh, that's weird. This didn't save out. So yes, we can do presentations in a minute. Before we do presentations, is there any questions about the drop today and about the feedback on when due on Wednesday? So we're going to listen to a few student presentations. Everybody who dropped something will be given 3 emails, 3 other students to review. Take your time with it and get it done before Wednesday, because trust me, reviewing work takes time. So before we start presentations, is there any questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
When I made my video, it kind of lagged a lot. Should I just remake it or?
Well, at least it's a lag, as in the video is lagging, but your voice is understandable.
Okay.
No, if your voice is understandable and you can at least watch it, I think it's good, because then that's why the next step is we actually play your game.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anyone else? All right. So I think the current order, I'll do Alex, David, Austin, if that's okay. So you can take your time presenting, but we're going to aim for about 10 minutes per student. And Alex, I'm going to make you the presenter. And so I just passed the presenter role to Alex, and Alex can click the share button. And you can want to share your whole screen, because usually you're jumping between a few windows. And after Alex is done presenting, we're going to open the floor just to have a conversation. And feel free to say anything about his project, as long as it's constructive criticism. Meaning, obviously, you're going to find flaws. Everyone is not going to have perfection, but you need to talk about how to improve it. or what you like about it in general, or just constructive criticism. All right, Alex, can you um, unmute and see if your mic is working?
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. So, welcome everyone to my presentation of Light Wars. We've got here a hub world. I've also got, if I press G, I can throw a grenade. This grenade, unlike before, now has the ability to damage enemies and distinguish friend from foe, so I can throw it at myself and it will not hurt me. That is one of the intended features. I can also shoot. The shots themselves now have a new projectile. And now the most noteworthy, I have here a bunch of turrets that will try to shoot me. I can press tab to have 10 seconds of invulnerability. And once those 10 seconds run out, these turrets will destroy me just like that. Thank you all for watching. Are there any questions?
So the before state, were the people running around or no?
Yeah, the people were there in the before state.
Okay, you couldn't shoot a grenade and you didn't have these turrets, right?
I could shoot a grenade in the past, but it would not do any damage to anything.
Okay.
The people are just decorations, so I cannot really hurt them.
Okay. What is your? I didn't see your grenade impact anything. Can you
Okay,
show
I'll
that?
demonstrate it again.
Sure.
So I'm going to throw at that turret. And you see that it destroyed it?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. I can also use it to destroy the targets.
Okay.
I cannot destroy these characters mostly because they're just decorations right now.
Sure. So how do you destroy the turrets that are up above the ground?
So each turret has 50 health, and each attack does a set amount of damage. The projectile does 50 damage, so one shot will bring it down to 0. Once it hits 0 or lower, the actor will destroy itself.
Sure, sure. Are you able to reach those turrets way up high with the grenades right now?
Yeah. I can shoot with one of these to destroy it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. What does it look like when you die? I didn't notice when they hit you how you.
Uh-huh.
So right now the character doesn't have a.
It just destroys the character. I can't
Sure.
move the camera anymore.
Sure, sure. Cool. So before I go out.
I have a question.
Yep, go for it.
Is there a limit to how many grenades you have, or is there an infinite amount?
It's a right now there's no limit, mostly because I haven't really implemented any sort of ammo system yet.
Huh.
But so theoretically I could just spam grenades as much as I want, as fast as I can press the G button.
Kind of satisfying to watch there.
You like that?
Yeah. Is this how they just explode in a sequence?
In the earlier version, the grenades actually had a much more powerful bounce. This one, it's a lot easier to predict with the smaller bounce like this.
It sounds like you have like different types of grenades, like sticky mines and bouncy.
Oh no, right now there's just one. It's just one grenade. I just lowered the bounciness of it, so it's not. So it wouldn't fly everywhere.
So what's the point? Where would you like to get to at the end of the class? Is this like you're going to focus on this level? You want to make it more playable by the end of the semester, or?
I had planned to create a sort of multiplayer match, even if it's just going to be single player with bots, but it's masquerading as a multiplayer match. That was kind of the plan.
Cool. So how can we? I would. So you have a lot of interesting. Can't actually before I go anymore. Does anyone else have any feedback? Anyone else want to say anything?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I like the way everything looks. I
I
think.
I can't hear you.
Oh. Uh,
Okay, repeat.
I like the way everything looks. It looks really nice. I think the one thing that I would mention was you mentioned pressing tab for invulnerability. Um, I know like if I were playing, I'd be like pretty confused because I didn't like know if it was on. So like I think the player's hand is like pink. Maybe like a simple color change to notify like to give you a visual cue of if you're invulnerable or not. Or
I
if you
was
plan on
considering
doing
having
that.
an a UI later, but I decided that one there wasn't enough time to really make a
Yeah.
proper UI to set up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and that was how you're gonna tell there was probably gonna be a bar somewhere that kind of like shows that how long it is, and it would slowly drain.
Okay. That's all I had to say.
Cool. Yeah, we could talk about how to incorporate that a little bit. Is there anyone else who has any comments? Nope. Let's check the chat panel real quick. All right, so I think you have some. Oh, if you could, sorry, could you just keep showing your screen, so I can look at.
Was there anything you wanted to see?
Yeah, so I think you have a good direction on a few of these mechanics. I think you can tie them together better over the course of the semester to have like a more complete game experience here in this level. Um, so you have this idea of you have a blaster and you have grenades, and you have right now you have turrets, and they can kill you. You're trying to.
I had originally thought of the idea of literally enemy players that would just run towards an objective, kind of like the way Team Fortress 2 bots work. However, I'm not currently prepared for that as there is a second map that I don't have a way to get to yet.
And so that's going to be beyond the scope of this class. I think what you have right here, you could polish really well and have a much stronger little game level of what you have right here.
Well, this hub world was really meant to just be a little more than a area to hang out in. You're not really meant to be attacked here.
Oh, that, so you're just testing out these turrets and seeing how they would attack and be attacked by the player.
Yes.
Okay, so this is like your loading scene or your start. This is like your splash, your start, like maybe a
Yeah,
little
you're not really meant to
tutorial.
be attacked here.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then,
if this was a complete product, you wouldn't even have your weapon.
okay. So why not for the rest of the semester? Why don't you have this be a little tutorial scene that loads into the first level where you have to destroy turrets?
Well, okay, I was originally planning on setting up a scene change to another level that I had also set up that I didn't show off here.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I see that you have a gun and the grenades, and you can actually destroy the the turret. So that's why you could actually you have the beginnings of like putting this all together and making like a complete game level right here. Like we're not going to be able to do multiplayer in this class, but if you can get some UI understanding going, then you can have an actual. This could be a tutorial level. You can have instructions to the user on how to move, jump, shoot, take damage, give damage, and then they go to something to start level one, either a portal or location, or they enter a building and it starts level one, or whatever it is that you want to do. then the level 1, you're fighting these turrets just to begin with, because you don't have anything, you don't have these other characters, and if you you don't have the ability to do multiplayer in this class, or it just sounds like a lot. So maybe you have this idea of these people running around. Maybe you can also look at how there are enemies that are firing back at you, and you have to kill them too. But so there's two things here. I see there's like a lot of effort put into a lot of separate game mechanics. You have this idea of invincibility. You have this the player can give damage, player can take damage, and you already have these functioning turrets. And you have these like people just running around. And you already have some type of level you're building out. Like I would like all these pieces to come together. You could actually really refine this, and what you're really missing right now is a user interface.
Yeah.
And when they die, you have to
Respawn.
you have to respawn. They have to have a few lives. And you have a wins scene and a lose scene.
Well, originally the idea was going to be a sort of, like I said, it was a multiplayer. I can have a masquerade as one, even like just put up a bunch of bots to pretend to be players. But really, I just wanted it to be a timer based and objective based. Because if
Okay.
you look at the bottom where there's blueprints, you can see there's references for a flag and a capture point. This
Okay.
is going to be a sort of capture the flag kind of deal.
Okay. Well, then your level 1, the objective can be go capture this flag, and the flag is surrounded by turrets. And at least you're moving toward your goal. Like you'll have this tutorial level here. You have to figure out the UI, and then there's this idea of level 1 is go learn how to capture a flag first that's protected by turrets, and then you can go keep building the idea and be like, okay, now go capture a flag against some bots, and then against human players. Well, some things to think about. So I see a lot of
This hub world was never, like I said, this hub world, you were never meant to attack anything. You were never meant to capture anything. You were mostly meant to go in here, and then you can go set up a match, and then the match would take you to the level where you can be attacked.
okay. So
I'll show you if you want, I could show you the other map I've got.
sure.
All right.
What's
I have
a
not touched this map in a while, but this was supposed to be the other place. I don't know why it's. Oh yeah, the shit. Yeah, it's loading in right now. But this was supposed to be where you go after the match starts. You're supposed to spawn up here.
Mhm.
Take this flag and move it over here.
Okay.
And that was basically the whole idea of the map. You go to the hub world, load up this map, load up this scene, do this objective.
Okay. Good. Then yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, you have a lot of pieces to the puzzle. I'd like to see you turn that other scene into like the loading scene, the intro scene, not the loading scene. The intro tutorial matchmaking, whatever it's going to be.
It's really just a hangout area.
Okay, sure, but then it's a matchmaking scene.
Yeah, matchmaking. Let's just go with matchmaking.
Sure. But anyway, you have the first scene. You want it to be a location where the player loads up, gives some instructions, picks a match, and goes here. And then right here, for just getting the mechanics going of having the player pick up the flag and drop it at that zone is going to be more than enough, to like enough work for this next project. So connecting up the two scenes, getting a UI going, explaining what's happening in that first scene, whatever you want to call it. and then explaining what we do here, and then actually doing it in the most basic form, which is just pick up the flag and drop it. Don't even think about fighting. That'd be an awesome step to get to in this next project. And then following that, you can really work on this scene. What does it mean to have bots or turrets or other players or whatever it is that you wish to pursue with it?
Right?
Cool. So yeah, it's very good. You have a lot. I would love to see this all come together over the semester, you know, as like a more complete demo of your idea. So you have these two scenes. I'd love to see you connect them up, get a UI, explain the player what's happening in the first scene, get them to grab the flag. You know, that's a lot to do in this next project. Might be too much. I don't know, but that's for you to scope out. But it's awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
Cool. So I'm gonna pass the flag to David. And David, you can just click the share button.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. I just pull up my right. This one. All right, can you see this?
Yep.
Ah.
HIO.
So I modified the karting micro game in Unity. I actually went for a more darker appeal, and that was actually my logo in the beginning. I went with a darker atmosphere, as well as adding. I only had time to implement one of the models I was planning on implementing. It took a surprising amount of time.
Okay.
I also added new music. Is this too loud?
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear it? So go to your first page.
Is it piping through your headphones or is it coming out the speakers?
It's coming through my headphones. I just
We're not going to hear it then. It's only what your computer speakers pick up. Or your mic, I'm sorry. Your mic is only picking up your voice.
I'm pretty sure there's a setting for this. Because they implemented new music as well.
If you just unplug your headphones for like 10 seconds, we'll hear your music and then you can plug your headphones back in. It's gotta be way to this. Oh, share web browser maybe? That's not what I meant to do. Oops. It's not good. Sure. I'm sure figuring this out. Sorry. I don't know how we was able to hear in the last thing, but not this thing. Kevin's saying add a sound detector through OBS. He's not screen capturing right now. Not making videos. It's going through WebEx. I think if you just unplug your headphones, you can at least hear it for a few seconds.
Okay. It's gonna sound a little weird then, but okay. I'm gonna start this. Hear this?
No.
Hear it okay?
Yeah, there's no sound coming through.
I can hear you now.
No sound.
No sound. Oh.
Just
Okay. I'm just refreshing the page. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I had to refresh the page because otherwise I wouldn't have had enough time to get through the entire track. So
Well,
Adding
point down, just
more-
just talk about the graphics and the gameplay for right now.
Okay. So in addition to adding darker music, I also adjusted the I added a new track. It's a more windy and bumpy. I also added a fourth checkpoint. I also altered the atmosphere using fog to make it darker with less field of vision. So you have to rely on the emission from the track to navigate. I also added a model that I call the Fang Tunnel at the end of the map. At the end of the track. You're gonna see soonish. You can see the distance over there. And what it's meant to be is like this almost like this maw that you just drive through. It's meant to be ominous, and that's what I was trying to do with this track. I was trying to make it almost like a spooky track for October, I guess.
Hmm.
And you can see there has the teeth here that have emissions themselves, and you go through, and then you complete the race.
Nice.
That's how it. And the windscreen's the same though.
Mhm.
That's it.
Cool. Anyone want to give feedback? Yep. Cool. So let's restart it. Let's see this splash screen. Let me start with that.
What was that?
Oh, I asked you if you could restart it so I could look at your splash screen again.
The splash screen?
Yeah, just start from the beginning.
Oh, you start the page again. The splash screen at the beginning?
Yeah, that's. I saw you modified Unity splash screen. Just wanted to see.
Yeah, and my logo there.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice. Definitely nice touch. All right, so let's see. We got the UI. You just changed the title.
Oh wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Now I
hear
can.
you
Yeah.
now.
Okay, great. I was trying to talk for a while. Anyway, I was wondering if you had any problems because you made that Fang
Fang Tunnel?
yeah. Did you have any problems with collision when you were importing it? Would it like block the driver when you didn't want it to?
I actually made it. I actually didn't add collisions to it at all. Because it goes around the track.
Hmm.
But if I had collisions, there might have been a chance where it would not be able to drive through the tunnel.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm glad.
But so I didn't add collisions at all, and just made sure there was no part of it that you'd be able to drive through
Okay, that's smart.
without needing to drive through it. You wouldn't
Thank-
clip through the model, but
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy. Okay. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's okay that we can't hear the music. You know, that does add that last connection with the immersion of the game. So I can't comment on that. But
Yeah. Well, I in the submission to the discussion forum, I have the link to the game. So if you play it, you'd be able to hear the music.
sure. So let's just click play.
Click play. All right, just give me a second. I need just gonna mute Chrome because in volume mixer because I had trouble with
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
sure.
trouble with hearing you. I had trouble with hearing you because the volume was a bit loud. Okay. Okay. There. Is there anything you want me to point out?
No. I just want you to play it so I can review it. So yeah, the bumps are interesting. What I like about the so there's a few things that are playing together that you might want to look at. So having this black road with this light fall off, like the fog, so the environment kind of turns black. It looks like maybe 30, 40 feet out. And then it blends into the road. So you got this black road and you have the environment that turns black. So you have to really pay attention to that red line
Yep.
as you're driving, because that's really your only source, your only visual cue of where the road is going, and then I see that red line when there's those bumps there, and it makes this. It's really cool how it has it's almost like a graph line. You know, they up and down at the bumps. So you really it's very noticeable, and that's where the player's attention is zoomed in on that red line. Because if you're speeding really fast, and the black road blends into the black environment, 40 feet in front of you, the only thing you have to look at is that red line.
Yep.
So I think you have a lot of play there, especially with the tight turns and those bumps. That you can really do something with it. You can really make this quite a unique gameplay with those two elements. I'm not sure the direction to take that, but there is a lot of potential there.
Mhm.
And yeah,
I noticed by shrinking the length of the bumpy road with the modular track, I noticed you get sharper bumps there, which can be more difficult to cross.
I
took
you
advantage
might want
of
to
that a
think
few times.
about what you want there. Like, I don't know, the bumps just really come out because I'm focusing on that red line as a player. So what could be there? Could there be things that hurt you or things that help you? Could it? You have to jump over this, or it's going to really slow you down.
Oh yeah, that's a
or
good idea.
Could it? I'm not sure what, but I'm just saying that this combination of it's interesting how these different visual, which I call them, elements in your game. Yeah, they fuse together, and you can actually play with it really well. It's interesting how these visual elements give you an opportunity to make a different style of gameplay. So these are giving you an opportunity to make a new type of mechanic in your game. You should really think about it. What I wanted to just note about that is like building games is very iterative, and the curves in the road, much like your game, it's you have to play with it. It's very unknown. Like for example, you know that you wanted to change the aesthetics of this game, and you did it, and this is where you're at. Now there's opportunities that reveal themselves with this new visual play you've done. So anyway, if I were you, I would take advantage of that, because that's what happens with smaller teams, as they know a kind of a direction they want to go, but things are kind of loose, and they have to take advantage of these overlay of immersive things that pop up as you build stuff.
Yeah, I definitely plan on doing more with this for the next X deliverable.
Yeah, I'm saying it came out really well. You blended a few things, and the blending or fusing actually works well. It's like what's called emergence, like new things have popped up that you didn't expect, and so take advantage of it. And I think that's a great success. That's good when you do something, you've changed something, and it points to something else that makes it even cooler. Then you're doing the right type of work. That you're revealing more interesting things that you can do with your game, and so that this is the right exploratory way to keep modding something. So it's good. I'm not sure what to do with it next month, so take some time and think about it. I'm just saying that you've revealed some interesting potential, new gameplay. I don't know what to do with it. That's for you to decide.
I might end up just making more levels in a level select screen.
Cool. But yeah, it's fun. You mess with the road some more, the level of the road, and have fun with it. If you want to load up and you create some new levels after you complete that, then go for it.
You feel like a Descent into Madness theme where it's just the level is just like this would be like the middle level, and the levels get progressively darker and more ominous.
I look forward, because I do not know how it's going to get more darker and ominous than that.
And music's probably going to get more horror-esque.
Cool. All right, I look forward to playing and listening to music.
Actually just got an idea. What if I Well, for the final level, I have like RAM static splashes on the screen.
Say again. Ramp. What type of
Random
splashes?
splashes of static on the screen when you get to certain areas.
Like the field of vision of the player is getting staticky, like static on television.
I was thinking like all of a sudden like you get like a UI interface in front of you, but it's just static covering the screen for a split second.
Oh, and it blinds you as you drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. You going through like a field of lightning or something like a static discharge, and it covers your vision. Yeah, it could be if you hit those bumps. It could be if you see the bumps coming up or whatever, and you don't successfully avoid them, then static covers your vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for feedback.
Yep. No problem. I'm going to
Sharing.
pass the presenter role to Austin. And you can click share your screen.
Ashley, can you give me like maybe like 10 minutes?
Sure.
10 minutes, maybe? Sorry, stumbled over my words there. Yeah, I need like 10 more minutes just to get things ready.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just
Okay,
wait.
thanks.
We'll be here, and just let me know if for whatever reason you're not comfortable with presenting. But in either
Okay.
case, I'm going to start looking at some of this survey stuff and hang out for 10 minutes. And other people, you can look on the deliverables and see what other people have worked on, what have you.
Oh, Professor?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if we have time, do you think I could get on a quick presentation? It won't be long at all.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. All right, I pass the presenter role to you.
All right, great. I'll just share my whole screen. Can you guys see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So for this week, no, not week, for this month, I well, I already had a base of the game.
Mhm.
I had this 3D character, this sort of dynamic camera thing. That's the house from your other class. I just kind of left that here. I had some content, but not much. I still don't have much content, but what I mainly focused on for this deliverable is my data management system, like more like back-endy stuff.
Mhm.
These are supposed to be like, just like coins. It's supposed to be a 3D platformer collectathon type deal. Sort of like retro inspired. I even went into the engine and I had the frame rate like manually lowered to like around 20 frames per second, like those older like N64 games.
Okay.
That sort of era. And what I mentioned in my deliverable is that this is supposed to be like a carnival. There's supposed to be like an on and off type system. But like playing around with the power, and some rides will activate if the power's on. Some will, deactivate. It's like a whole like light platforming, light sort of puzzle elements, like kind of a jack of all trades
Yeah.
sort of deal. I just wanted to get all the systems implemented so I could make more content for the next deliverable without any sort of worry about how it's all gonna fit together.
Sure.
It's sort of like a strongman thing. You're supposed to jump off the top, land here, but it's not working because the power's not on. So I'm gonna go turn the power on. I had a like this shed here. I wanted to make sure that all my content persists between levels. You can see in the print string up in the top corner, it's 3. That's how many coins I collected. And if I warp to another level, even though my player character is going to be destroyed and remade, it should still say 3. Yep. This is the shed. It's the coolest looking shed I've ever seen. So I can collect coins in here. Each coin has its own index. And there's a power button. You just jump on this, and now the power's on. I leave, and I still have 4 coins. And the coins I previously collected, they're still gone. So I have like a index of coins that keep an array of indexes. So it keeps track of which coins I already collected, and when the level builds, it'll destroy the ones that I already got. That's something that activates when the power's on. It also shows off this material thing where you could have the blueprints talk to the materials in the game and just set like variables. So like when the power's on, it's just, like one variable is just set to 1. So right now I just have it turn white. But I could multiply that by like a scalar value. So I can have emissions turn on for lights in the actual park.
Yeah.
Which is cool. The one thing I don't have, which I would add if I had a little bit more time, is that some collectibles that get spawned dynamically, they won't stay there if you leave. So I'll have to like save their transforms in my data. Okay, so yeah, the power's on. I jumped on the thing. You see the like
Sure.
puck fly away.
Mhm.
And there's the collectible. It's just a bunch of bottles right now. You can get that. And if I were to leave the level and come back, the puck would still be gone. So the state of like completeness for each attraction is being stored. And yeah, that's all I have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to comment?
Quick question: is that Aurora Borealis in the work in the shed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, I can show you some of the back end stuff. Yeah, I have like a data structure, and then it finds it by the level name, clears all the old stuff out, and then it assigns like all these variables I have defined.
Impressive.
Thank you. So yeah, next month I'll probably have more content. Well, I will have more content, but
Yep.
yeah.
So one student asked.
One more
Go
question.
for it.
With the ship that moves,
Yeah, the pirate ship.
yeah, is it supposed to clip to the ground at such a level?
Oh no, I just threw it in there. The scale's probably not even right.
Yeah.
I just had the model which I made, and I had the like timeline for it to swing back and forth on the y-axis or whatever. That is just another proof of the power being on.
Okay.
It's still a work in progress.
And are you able to walk onto the pirate ship?
No, it doesn't have collision right now, but that's easy. I mean,
Huh.
do that right now. Theoretically. Is there any other questions?
See in the chat. Did you go? Are you going from ominous and a bit of a creepy game look?
Not specifically. If that's the vibe it's given off, though, I'm flattered.
And yes, this is Unreal.
Yeah, I guess the aesthetics up in the air right now. I haven't really done too much content to where I could really hammer it down. I guess old is the main thing as of right now. Like how it's sort of choppy. The animations are a little floaty. Yeah, mostly Banjo-Kazooie, if you guys played that.
Yeah, the character was really cute.
Oh, yeah. I had he graduated, but somebody from SIGGRAPH, I commissioned him to do that. I drew up the concept art. That's why it's so simple, but he actually modeled them and everything.
Yeah, his flying movement's really fun. And it looks like if I saw it, he can maybe it's a jump. He uses his nose as like a spring.
Yeah, that's how you do like higher jumps. So like it switches your player
Yeah, that
state.
right there.
This
Yeah.
animation's a little messed up. It was kind of hard to describe, but
Mm.
yeah, and then you could bounce off of that and do the higher jump.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to you're trying to go with a retro look. It looks a lot like a famous game character from it's going back.
Cubert?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's way beyond you guys' time. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff coming together. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it sounds like you're going to start sewing this all together more in the second project. There's a lot, again, there's a lot of interesting mechanics and visuals that I think you can tie up together really well. So, what does this? The first thing is like the character is really well defined. I would put some effort into this level visually, like just
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
make it match whatever the character or the world is supposed to be like, so that they kind of sew together better. Yeah, maybe a little backstory, like why is this thing here at this carnival or whatever, and but it's turning into like a really cool 3D platformer. Um, like I would like to see ha- like right now you could just go into that storage room and just hit the power button. Like there should be some like what's the build up to that? What do you have to do to like get access to the power button?
Right, yeah.
And like I would like to see a little bit more of a dramatic change once you do hit the power button. Also the power comes on, I didn't see like when you left the storage room, yeah, I see that the ship was turned on and stuff, but I'd like to see like the power hit and maybe a big beam of light come out from it or something.
Yeah. Like I definitely
Yeah.
noticed that while developing because I had to do print strings because I wasn't even sure if I hit it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So like, boom! All of a sudden, everything changes. The light is on. Things are
Mhm.
moving. The rides are going. Maybe some sound effects. Get some lights chain on that you were talking about.
Right, yeah.
And then the goal is to like, how do you direct the player that no, now you got to go and hit the strongman competition. And then what happens then? You start thinking about what's the next part of the level. But yeah, he's really cute. Lots coming around. When you were first describing this, and now you see it, it's quite something.
All right, yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the feedback.
Cool.
All right,
Any other comments? Or you let me know if anyone else wishes to present. Michael M is my TA. He's just
Hey.
background. Hey, so I'm just asking him to go through the forum, see who's posted, so that we can get the surveys, who's surveying who ready, and those emails will be sent out shortly.
Yeah, I'm not. How am I going to get who posted? Like, what am I using to determine that? Is there anyone
On the Canvas form?
on the Canvas form?
If you log into the Canvas class.
Oh, yes,
Scroll
yes.
down,
Yes,
there's only
never-
one forum. Well, there's
Got
the
it.
deliverables, project
Got it.
deliverables.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep, another Michael M. That's right.
Oh, yeah. There's another Michael in here.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah, let me just say something quick about the surveys that I'm going to send
Sure.
out.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to be getting the surveys. There's going to be 3 of them. So just to let you know, all of this is going to be anonymous for the students. So you're not going to get feedback from like for each other. You're going to be able to view each other's feedback. I'm going to send everybody reports, but you're not going to know who actually wrote that. It is going to ask for your email in the survey itself. That's for you need to put your email, your own email in there, the school email, and that's so I can compile the data later. It makes it easier for me to do that. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to Eric, and I will intercept that message and get back to you. So thank you.
Yep. So if there's no more presenters, then for some reason my images won't embed on the Canvas posting. Do you want to share your screen? Are you comfortable with doing that, or?
I hit it. It said that I tried hitting enter to let it go in, and the image just didn't show up at all of a sudden. I'm not sure what's happened. Do you have to upload it to Canvas first, the image, for it to show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you trying to copy paste it, or?
No, I tried embedding it through the insert image thing, but it's just showing up as a gray square.
Weird.
Yeah,
What should be happening?
Moving down the forum to find your.
It's the last one. I just posted it.
Oh, it's the last one.
And there's no image there, but I put one in, but it's just not going. We just showing up.
Are you comfortable with sharing your screen, or?
I mean, it'll just be I can share screen. Hold on.
I could probably diagnose the issue quicker if.
It's just I don't really know how to explain this.
Right. So click on that big right thing.
Okay.
Just left click.
Okay.
Usually that menu there is showing when you right click. You can't left click.
Oh right, I'm sharing just hold on. Let me try something. How do I unshare real quick? I'm gonna try.
And you just click the share button again.
Stop sharing real quick. Let me just do this. This will show better if I just share the full screen. Okay. So it's just like not doing it.
Yeah, can you just left click?
Can you not see left click on this?
Yeah, it's just when that menu pops up, normally that's a right click.
Oh.
Try it. So usually there's this little thing there's this little tab. Yeah, right click produces that menu. But if you left click, there should be like this little.
Oh, left click. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't sleep well. No, right clicking is just doing nothing.
Left clicking should produce a thing that's.
No, I mean left click is just doing like I click on it. It says
well, let's delete this big gray thing and try it again.
I don't really know how it lets me delete it. Hold on. I'm not. Oh, it did. Okay. Try again.
So press the enter key again. Just get a blank space.
Okay. Upload image. I just get the image. Which one did I do? Is this one? This is the image. It's there.
Sure.
It's just the gray. It is a loading thing, but I left it on this for like 20 minutes and it was still doing it earlier. Is it something on like Canvas's end, just like going slow?
Can somebody else just try to add another image
to
their post and just let us know if?
Yeah, I upload as a user file. I don't think I've ever done that before. Is it different?
Well, you went through the upload process.
Yeah, I just did that.
Let's try deleting it. See what other options there are.
Okay. There is the user images, but I don't really know what this is.
Try clicking it.
I can explain what that is. To actually make a user images, right? You actually had to go to your account, like the top left, and then go to files, and then from there you can just upload images in there.
Right, I remember doing that a while ago. So no, it's my picture. It's not what I wanted. Which one? Profile?
Files.
Files, that would make a lot of sense. Okay. Okay, this makes more sense. Let me just
You can also make a folder if you want to be a little bit more.
No, I'm not neat. It's literally called Untitled. That should let you know how unneat I am. There we go. It's right here. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's see if this works. User images. If this would work, that would be nice. I don't really know what's going on. It's just not doing it.
Can somebody confirm if they could just upload an image just the normal way, just right now? Then we can at least confirm if it's Canvas or if it's your internet. Yeah, we're not gonna have time for another presenter, unfortunately.
I'm gonna test right now. User.
So everyone's free to go unless if a few people can hang out and just help troubleshoot if this is Canvas or the internet.
If it's Canvas, what should I do? Should I just let it like?
I can upload an image.
This is not.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that right now as well. I'm just trying.
This is weird.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it works for me, so it might just be.
What?
So what should I do about this?
It's working now.
Yeah. So try a different. It's either the image file itself or it's your internet.
Is it saved as like a PNG or like a JPEG?
Just a PNG.
Oh, okay.
I can even upload a GIF and it's not having any problems.
Just upload a different picture. See if this works. It's not the image. It's just. It might just be my internet or something. I don't know. That doesn't make sense because I'm on this thing. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Sure.
What should I do about this?
Your posting is up, so
okay.
You're real. You'll be counted. Somebody will review this. So I would just.
Oh wait, it might be Canvas because I just got a failed to save. Please try again later.
Okay.
Well, what I'm gonna say is, that's what I was basically gonna say. Is just try again later because whoever 3 or however many people review you, well, they'll probably get to it like tomorrow or later tonight. So just keep trying until Canvas works.
Okay. It might also be Chrome or wherever you use it. If you delete the cache, sometimes that works with some stuff.
Yeah, it won't even let me. It won't even let me post a new reply.
Yeah, my discussion. It's not letting me update my discussion, so I think it's Canvas.
Okay. Yeah, then it's definitely Canvas.
All right.
Yeah, just
Thank you.
Try then Try in a few hours.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You're up. Just make sure you get some images at least by tomorrow or something.
If it's up, I will.
Yep.
I have to wait till that happens. But yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good day. Have a good weekend. I mean.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend. Yeah.
Bye.
I just want to ask it real quick. Just what's the name? For the next 2 projects, right? What happens if I wanted to like keep going with what I was doing, like do more BFX?
Are you asking if you can do that?
Yeah, if I could just do even more BFX stuff for like a project 2.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you to pick your project.
Yeah, I was just asking because I didn't know if I should like do the same thing but expand more onto it, or do like a completely different thing, like I don't know, like making models.
I mean, I would, if you enjoyed what you did and you want to increase your skill sets in the area, I would say to keep moving forward with the VFX.
Yeah, what I want to do is like I'm probably gonna between 2 and 3, like the 2 projects, I'm probably gonna have one of them just be the models and animation, the other one be more VFX because I really want to do more about it. And I also found this nice Udemy course which teaches you how to